Imagine holding a coin in your hand that was minted nearly 50 years ago to celebrate America's 200th birthday, but instead of being worth just $1, it could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars because of a rare minting error. Yes, we're talking about the 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower Dollar, a coin that not only commemorates America's independence but also has a fascinating history full of collector demand, rare varieties, and jaw-dropping values at auctions. If you've ever wondered whether that old Eisenhower Bicentennial dollar in your pocket change could be hiding a fortune, stay with me until the end of this video, because we're about to uncover the errors, varieties, and record-breaking sales that make these coins some of the most sought after in U.S. history. One of only two known 1976 Eisenhower dollars struck on 40% silver, should have been clad. Extremely rare. Listed for $135,000 in marketplace listings, MS64 PCGSA quarter planchet got between dies, leaving an indent on the dollar reverse, indent by quarter. A visually striking and desirable error, sold for $1,997.50 at Heritage, January 6, 2017, MS67 Type 1 reverse, bold lettering, very high grade for circulation strike from Denver. Scarce in this grade, sold for $11,163 in April 2015 in the Central State Signature Sale. MS63 PCGSA clipped planchet error where part of planchet is missing 5%. Clip Plus, doubled, feature, sold August 26, 2021 from the Don Bonser Error Coin Collection, Heritage, exact hammer price with premium not listed in snippet. 1976, D 6% clipped planchet Type 2 MS63 PCGS significant clip, 6%, under Denver Mint Type 2 reverse. Rare error, sold May 10, 2004 at Heritage's bullet sale. Glowing star background, why the 1976 Eisenhower dollar is special. Before diving into the rare errors, let's set the stage. The Eisenhower dollar, introduced in 1971, was America's last large-size dollar coin minted for circulation. It honored President Dwight D. Eisenhower on the obverse and the Apollo 11 moon landing on the reverse, before the bicentennial design. But in 1976, to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, the U.S. Mint created a special bicentennial coinage series. This included quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, all with unique reverse designs and the dual date 1776 to 1976. The Eisenhower dollar received a stunning redesign. Obverse, Eisenhower's bust by Frank Gasparo. Reverse, Liberty Bell superimposed on the moon, designed by Dennis R. Williams, symbolizing both American independence and space exploration. This was the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a dual date, and millions were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. But among these millions, rare errors and varieties slipped through, and that's where the real money is. The most famous 1976 Eisenhower dollar errors. Collectors love errors because they are unique, accidental, and extremely limited in number. Some of the most valuable include 1976 Bicentennial dollar struck on a silver planchet, wrong planchet error. Some Eisenhower dollars meant for copper-nickel planchets were mistakenly struck on 40% silver planchets used for collector sets. These coins are extremely rare. One example sold for over $10,000 at auction depending on grade and silver content. Off-center strikes. Coins that were struck off-center, showing Eisenhower's bust or the Liberty Bell shifted to one side, can command big premiums. A 15 to 20% off-center strike can bring hundreds of dollars. Major off-center strikes, 50% or more, can soar into the thousands. Double die obverse, DDO, and double die reverse, DDR. Some 1976 Eisenhower dollars show doubling in the inscriptions like, Liberty, or, In God We Trust. A dramatic double die could fetch $500 to $5,000 depending on grade. Subtle doubling still increases collector demand significantly. Clipped planchets. These are coins with a crescent-shaped clip because the blank was improperly cut. 1976 Bicentennial dollars with clipped planchets can range from $200 to $1,000 plus depending on size and visibility. Transitional errors. There are rare cases where Eisenhower dollars were struck on planchets intended for other denominations or in different metallic compositions. These transitional errors are among the most valuable, sometimes fetching tens of thousands of dollars. Regular strike varieties, Type 1 versus Type 2. Even without errors, there are two main design varieties of the 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar. Type 1, 1975 strikes bold lettering, thicker font on United States of America, and $1. Type 2, 1976 strikes thinner, more refined lettering. Collectors generally favor Type 2, but Type 1 examples in pristine condition are much rarer and can bring premium values. Values of rare 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar coins. Now let's talk numbers, because this is what keeps collectors and treasure hunters excited. Circulation strikes. Common circulated coins, $1.25 to $5. High-grade MS-65, $50 to $150. MS-67 or higher, $1,000 plus, extremely rare. Proof and silver issues. Proof silver sets, San Francisco Mint $15 to $40. Deep cameo proofs graded PR70, $2,000 to $7,000 plus. Rare errors. Wrong planchet errors, $10,000 to $20,000. Dramatic off-center, $2,000 to $10,000. Double die obverse/reverse, $500 to $5,000 plus. Transitional errors, $25,000 to $50,000 plus. Record-breaking auction. In some cases, rare 1976 Bicentennial era Eisenhower dollars have approached six-figure values, especially if they combine rarity with pristine condition. A perfect storm of grade plus rarity plus error can push these coins into hundreds of thousands, or potentially even $1 million territory if a one-of-a-kind example is found. The history and collector appeal. Why do collectors love the Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar so much? Patriotic theme. The dual date 1776 to 1976 makes it historically significant. Large size. It was the last big, cartwheel dollar, minted for circulation. Short series, Eisenhower dollars were only minted from 1971 to 1978, giving the set a limited scope. Error potential, because of its size and production complexity, more errors slipped through compared to smaller denominations. Nostalgia factor, many Americans remember seeing these coins in their childhood during the bicentennial celebrations. How to tell if you have a rare one. If you've got a 1976 Eisenhower dollar, here's what you should check for. Look for doubling on letters or numbers. Check if the coin looks off-center or clipped. Weigh the coin. If it's heavier, 40% silver, it could be a rare wrong planchet strike. Examine the lettering style to see if it's Type 1 or Type 2. Always consider having your coin graded by PCGS or NGC, as certified high-grade coins bring the best prices. Where to sell rare Bicentennial Eisenhower dollars. If you think you have a rare or error coin, you can sell it through major auction houses, Heritage, Stack's Bowers. eBay for broad collector access. Specialized coin dealers who focus on U.S. errors. Coin shows where collectors pay top dollar in person. Always get your coin authenticated before selling, fakes do exist. Great question if you're making a long YouTube video about the most rare 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar, finishing with tips for collectors is a perfect way to keep viewers engaged until the end. Here's a full section you can use. Tips for collectors. Know the two types, Type 1 versus Type 2. Type 1, 1975 strikes, issued in 1976 bold lettering, thicker and more blocky font on the reverse, scarcer especially in high grades. Type 2, 1976 strikes sharper and thinner lettering on the reverse, most common in circulation. Collectors love building Type 1 versus Type 2 comparison sets, so identifying which you have is the first step. Search for high-grade examples. Circulation strikes in MS-66 and above are extremely scarce and can bring thousands of dollars at auction. If your coin has full luster, no scratches, and sharp details, consider grading it with PCGS or NGC. Even a common coin becomes valuable at top grades. Look out for rare errors. Error Eisenhower dollars are where the big money is. Off-center strikes. Clipped planchets. Double die obverse/reverse, DDO/DDR. Wrong planchet strikes, e.g., struck on quarter or silver planchet. These can bring hundreds, thousands, or even over $100,000 depending on rarity and grade. Silver Bicentennial Ikes. Some bicentennial dollars were struck in 40% silver, sold in special collector sets from the U.S. Mint. These coins carry more intrinsic value and are highly collectible, especially in pristine condition. Always check the edge for a solid silver appearance rather than copper-nickel layers. Certified coins hold more value. PCGS and NGC certified coins sell for much higher premiums. Collectors want authenticity, especially for rare errors or high-grade coins. If you think your coin is rare, don't sell raw, get it graded first. Build a complete bicentennial set. Collectors love themed sets. 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower Dollar. 1976 Bicentennial Washington Quarter. 1976 Bicentennial Kennedy Half Dollar. A complete graded bicentennial set is always desirable. Where to buy and sell? eBay, great for raw coins and minor errors, but be careful of fakes. Heritage Auctions/Stacks Bowers, best for top grade and rare errors. Local coin shows and dealers, good for networking and finding hidden gems. Facebook and Reddit coin groups, growing marketplaces for collectors. Why collectors love Bicentennial Eisenhower dollars. Historic design, issued for America's 200th birthday, featuring the Liberty Bell superimposed on the moon. Short series, only minted 1975 to 1976, so it's easy to complete a set. Error potential, the large size and experimental minting produced lots of fascinating mistakes. Silver issues, special collector strikes add another layer of rarity. Nostalgia, many older collectors remember using them, so there's emotional value too. Conclusion, hidden fortune in your change. The 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower Dollar is more than just a coin, it's a piece of American history. While most are worth only face value, rare errors and pristine examples can bring in hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. So, if you come across a Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar in your collection or pocket change, don't ignore it. Check it carefully, because you might just be holding on to a small fortune.